Welcome back. After the first burial 46 years ago, Isaac Adaka Borough, fondly referred to as the father of modern Niger Delta, was today reburied at the Heroes Park in Yenagoa, Bayelsa State. Isaac Borough was in 1968 buried at Ikoyi Cemetery in Lagos. His reburial today was amidst fanfare as a mammoth crowd of Izon people thronged the burial site to pay their last respect. On to sports news now. Nigeria's Super Falcons will leave for Kaduna Wednesday morning to continue their preparation for the second leg tie of the African Women's Championship qualifier against Rwanda at the Ahmadu Bello Stadium on June the 7th. The Super Falcons have a 4-1 advantage heading to the return leg and will qualify automatically for the AWC if they avoid heavy defeat against the Shi Amavubi of Rwanda. Turkey-based striker Desire Oparanozie promised that the team will continue the goal scoring from where they left off in Rwanda. On to tennis. 17-time Grand Slam champion Roger Federer failed to reach the French Open quarterfinals for the first time since 2004 as he lost in 5 sets to Latvia's Ernest Gulbis. Federer led by a set in the break but went down 6-7, 7-6, 6-2, 4-6, 6-3. A fourth-round victory would have taken the 32-year-old Swiss into a record 42nd major quarterfinal. The 18th seed Gulbis will face 6th seed Czech Thomas Berdych in the last
Another
eight.
thing you can do about that, 210k right down. That's where he served all day. Over the low part of the net, he's had huge success with the aces. That's gone wide, so Federer is out of this year's French Open. The 25-year-old from Latvia seeded.
Djokovic 2 points away then.
Meanwhile, it was an easy task for world number 2 Novak Djokovic as he breezed past Jo-Wilfried Tsonga 6-1, 6-4, 6-1 to make the quarterfinals at the French Open. Djokovic, chasing the only Grand Slam titles to elude him, was never troubled by the 13th seeded Tsonga, who suffered an embarrassing defeat in 89 minutes. The Frenchman's ordeal ended on the first match point when he sent a backhand long as Djokovic reached the quarterfinals of a Grand Slam for the 20th consecutive time. His next opponent will be Canadian Milos Raonic.
Time counts.
Well, one of those days then for Jo-Wilfried Tsonga. Djokovic closes in on his quarter-final berth. Just 1 point away now.
However, Andy Murray survived an epic encounter to reach the last 16 of the French Open, with play suspended yesterday night after 40 minutes due to poor lighting. Murray returned to the court to defeat Philipp Kohlschreiber 3-6, 6-3, 6-3, 4-6, 12-10. Kohlschreiber was forced to save a match point on his first service game, preventing Murray from sealing a 10-8 win. Murray finally secured his progress with a thumping backhand winner. Up next for the Wimbledon champion is another clay court specialist, Fernando Verdasco.
And that's pushed wide. Well, he took the risk, and that's the way you got to win.
Some great tennis in the end of the fourth set and the fifth set, and I thought, considering the circumstances today, I thought we both played some good points because both of us came out, probably pretty nervous, but I thought it was pretty high standard. I didn't sleep much. I woke up quite a few times, and I was kind of ready to play at 4 or 5 in the morning. I kept waking up. I was very nervous, but I just tried to do my usual preparations, and that was it. But it's not easy coming back at 7-all in the fifth set.
Well, in football, FIFA is facing fresh allegations of corruption over its controversial decision to award the 2022 World Cup to Qatar. The Sunday Times has obtained secret documents, including emails, letters, and bank transfers, which proved that former Qatari football official Mohammed bin Hammam made payments of about £3 million to football officials in return for their support for the Qatar bid. The country strongly denies any wrongdoing and insists that Mr. bin Hammam never had any official role supporting the bid and always acted independently from the Qatar 2022 campaign. Away from sports news, UK Prime Minister David Cameron has threatened that Britain may pull out of the EU if federalist Jean-Claude Juncker becomes president of the European Commission. Mr. Juncker is among the front-runners for the job, supported mainly by German Chancellor Angela Merkel. Both belong to parties in the European People's Party bloc in Brussels. Mr. Cameron is set to perceive Mr. Juncker's endorsement too destabilising for the British government to work with. After Mr. Cameron's comments were reported, Mr. Juncker took a thinly veiled swipe at the Prime Minister, saying Germany's build leaders should not be blackmailed into rejecting his presidential bid. The Prime Minister is known to want a reformist candidate to take over the presidency in order to enable reform. Over in the Middle East, the Afghan Taliban is celebrating the release of 5 of its members from Guantanamo Bay as a big victory. The men believed to be the most senior members of the Taliban held at the U.S. detention facility in Cuba were released in exchange for the Sergeant Bo Begdal, the last U.S. soldier held by the Taliban for 5 years. The 28-year-old Sergeant Bo is said to be in good condition and has been flown to Germany for more treatment. His parents said they're joyful and relieved to hear of their son's release, adding that he was having trouble speaking English due to his long captivity. Though the exchange deal has come under criticism, the U.S. Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel has defended it, saying the U.S. had acted quickly to save the soldier's life. Back here in Africa, Daniel Wani, husband to the Sudanese woman imprisoned for marrying a Christian, says he's not aware of plans of his wife's release. As comes amidst reports that a Sudanese official confirmed that Miriam Ibrahim, who gave birth in prison, would be released in a few days. An undersecretary in the Foreign Ministry, Abdullahi Al-Azreg, however, says she can only be released after a successful judicial appeal, as Sudan guaranteed religious freedom and is committed to protecting her. The case has come under heavy criticism from international human rights organizations. The court in Sudan had ruled that she would be allowed to nurse her baby for 2 years before the death sentence is carried out. Meanwhile, gunmen in Cameroon have released 2 Italian priests and a Canadian nun seized in April. Their release was confirmed by the Italian Foreign Ministry in a statement earlier today. It thanked the Canadian and Cameroonian authorities but gave no details of how the 3 were freed. The priests had been working on improving water supplies and fighting the spread of HIV/AIDS, as well as their religious duties. One of the priests had been in Cameroon for more than 6 years, while the other had arrived about a year before the abduction. Coming back home now to Nigeria, the growth of the Nigerian music industry has provided employment for many young Nigerians, whether as a recording artist or as a support workman. Now, as the industry continues to grow, many of these support workmen are now looking beyond the present to review their contributions to the industry and how it can sustain them even in retirement.
Making a hit song requires input from different quarters. There is a songwriter who may not be the song performer, the producer and song arranger who more often than not adds to the songwriting, and of course the artist who eventually becomes the face of the song. It had been a happy working relationship among these professionals until recently, when the brains behind the scenes started asking for royalties, just like the artist.
Talent comes in different ways. The artist might be a very good singer, but not a very good songwriter. He comes to the studio with, a song that is poorly written. No, what do? You sit down with him, arrange the song, and probably chip in words here, take away words. You are already writing the song with him. It's all like, okay, the producer, you are supposed to do it. It's part of what we expect you to do. But you forget that that's my own intellect, my own intellectual property going into your stuff. I am supposed to, that's my pension. We don't have any other pension. That's what we should understand.
Label owners and executive producers also claim they deserve a bit of the spoil since they bankrolled the project.
My studio was used for the song. I got a producer for the artist, and I got a director for the video. So I spend my money to promote the work. Then you go behind me to collect royalty for the work. Then after collecting the royalty, you call my artist and pay the artist. Then what am I doing? So that is where there's kind of mix-up. I don't understand what is happening.
The Nigerian copyright law by default sees all royalties to the performer, but experts say professionals who have contributed significantly to the creation of a song can have their interests protected and indeed earn add-ons on their work if standard procedures are followed.
If the producer is in a strong position and his contribution is fundamental, the producer can ensure that he has a contract which gives him a part of the copyright.
Listening to this familiar song, albeit in a different rendition, the channel's television signature tune, Ishe Oluwa, as performed by the Good Earth singers in the United Kingdom. And what these praise singers bring to the fore with this rendition in a foreign dialect can be tricky, but as perfected here, the sound is melodious. Music in any dialect is melodious. And the main news again. An explosion has rocked a football viewing center in Adamawa State, killing scores of people. A new video believed to be that of the missing Chibok girls has been released, showing students appealing to the federal government to facilitate their release. Sources close to the presidency deny having received the video, which was purportedly obtained by a British newspaper, the Daily Mail. And 2 Italian priests and a Canadian nun have been freed after 2 months of captivity. They had been abducted in northern Cameroon by gunmen believed to be Boko Haram members. And that's the news at 10 tonight. Thank you for watching. I am Amarachi Ubani. Good night and have a wonderful week ahead.